All right, y'all. So welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. Listen, guys, my name is Cody Brown, and today's going to be a very special episode. Also, I got my co-host with me today.
It's Ayo, and we back with another episode, man. So we about to give y'all a bunch of game. The last episode we did, I'm pretty sure y'all learned a lot. We really gave y'all that game on that podcast and how to really leverage it to make money.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And one of the things I do want to mention to you guys is, we want to be able to start coming in and start giving you guys more value on what you guys can start doing within your business. So that way you could take out little pieces, little gems, and start giving you guys that real detailed information that's been helping us along the past 2 years. So today is going to be one of those episodes where we're going to be teaching you guys a few things, on how we was able to grow so fast and really just give you guys the information so that way you can go out and execute. A little bit about us, for the people that don't know, we've grown a huge podcast over the past 2 years where we had well over, 20 plus million views across all different channels for many different pieces of content that we posted up. Collectively, we've got well over 300,000 plus followers across all platforms collectively. So that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and literally everything has been all organic. We haven't paid for any ads. Not to say ads is not something that you shouldn't do, but really, we was able to build everything up by using our resources and the things that we learned over the past 2 years. So if you guys are here right now, you're a business owner, stay tuned because you're definitely going to learn something very, very good that's going to help you market your business and be seen by more people.
Definitely. And first point that I want to touch on is a lot of you guys are using ads, right? And ads cost a lot of money. See, a lot of times what most people don't know, bro, is when it comes to ads is you don't want to just throw money on a piece of content that you just shot in your basement, or you just shot without knowing if it's actually going to convert, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where organic content plays a role. So what we mastered as podcasters is organic content, right?
Yeah.
So we bring on a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, even ourselves as guests at times on our own show, where we go out and we speak and we give game. Now what we do, we post those clips, and what we can tell now from the analytics is how well they do, right? So if you post a clip from your podcast and you post it up online and it's creating engagement, it's getting likes, it's getting shares, you should know this piece of content is signaling that it's gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now what you can do now is then throw an ad. But let's talk about organic reach, because that's what you have to master when you get into podcasting in order to really get some customers. Like I'm telling you guys, organic reach is way more important than ads.
Yeah. Also, I do want to touch on some of the pain points too, and kind of give like a little backstory on that as well. A lot of times when you look at our podcast, you look on how we market our business directly and indirectly. What people are doing is they're coming in and they're sitting on a 1 hour podcast and they're sharing stories to be relatable. They're sharing, lists, steps, resources, tools, websites, everything that you can use to go ahead and provide value to an audience. So now a lot of times where people usually get things wrong is they usually sometimes might not have their offer in order, right? They may have, certain things where they're not sure on what they're selling. So you might go out there and spend $1,000 on ads and don't see any kind of returns.
Exactly.
Some people are just saying, hey, listen, let me go out and just pay for ads because this is going to push my business, and it's almost kind of like where a person might come on a podcast and say, yo, this one big podcast is going to change the game for me.
Yep.
They got millions of views. They got millions of subscribers. This is going to be my big break. But a lot of times that is not the case. You have to come on. You have to give stories. You have to give game. You have to give stuff that people want to hear. Now, once you record that full podcast, it gives you the opportunity to go out and clip those pieces of content and run those as ads. So now you're not doing too much work because people actually want to see the things that you're paying for. And it's almost like too, like if you ever watch YouTube, where you ever watch YouTube where, you know, you might be watching a YouTube video and next thing you know, you see like the skip ad button.
Yeah.
My finger be hovering over that skip ad, waiting for that seconds. First 5 seconds to pass. You know what I mean? And you got to think of it just like the same thing for your business when you're running ads, you know?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, and what I'm saying is, put out good content that people are actually going to consume. Let the people eat that stuff up. Let the people eat that stuff up, and then go ahead and use paid ad strategies for your business.
Yep. Now that right there is a whole bunch of game, right? So let's break down some of the things that, you know, we did, right, when it comes to organic growth. So, you know, as you guys know, we shoot a bunch of podcasts, and when we do podcasts, what makes us so unique is we pick out our clips very strategically. See, picking out clips has to be done with strategy behind it. So whatever niche you're in, you have to always make sure the clip you're picking up is related to your niche, but it's delivered properly. So when we talk about delivery, we're talking about don't just randomly throw something up. You know what I mean? You have to make sure it includes certain things that would definitely get you a new customer, get you a new lead, get you a new message in your inbox of somebody that's interested in something that you do. So what we do is, you know, of course, when you're choosing or when you're speaking to an audience through podcasting, you want to focus on getting a good hook for your content. See, like Cody said, a lot of times when you pay for these ads, a lot of times you don't realize that you're wasting money because those first 5 seconds is critical. Like Cody said, like on YouTube, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen ads and you're dying to click skip.
Hovering. Like I be doing the same thing.
To literally click skip because you're not interested. Even if it might be something that, hey, like, yo, I might want to buy this phone, or I might be interested in this product, but the way it was delivered to you is just super boring. The guy gets on the camera, no enthusiasm. And it's just like, yo, we all don't like things like that. So you have to really be strategic with how you're picking out your content. So like I said, make sure it has a hook. As soon as the camera turns on, or as soon as you literally are picking that clip, make sure it's something that you watch over or you show to someone else and they're like, yo, I'm actually got hooked in. Because a lot of times is before you get into the information part of the content, you have to know how to get people's attention. So it's plenty of ways you can do this, and this is why when you're on a podcast, you have to have your talking points correct, right? So you want to talk in you want to kind of talk in phases where, you know, you're giving your story, and then you're also talking about how you help people. So reason why is because your story is going to tell people who you are. It's going to tell people how they can relate to you. And then the information that you share is basically how you can be that expert to teach whoever's watching this the game. Yeah. So when it comes to picking out a clip, you have to have a really good hook. So always remember, pick something that is immediately getting straight to the point. So if I'm doing business credit, if I'm doing funding, or if I'm even doing real estate, for example, let's just say funding, you know, a lot of people are in the credit space. I would immediately start with, even if I'm talking to an audience through a camera where I'm talking to I'm on a podcast, I would say never pick these banks. Like start off with something crazy shocking where it's like, hey, listen, I never use these banks. And then you transition into why you don't use these banks. So it could be something common like, don't go to Chase Bank. And then later on, think about it. If I hear that right now and I'm scrolling, I'm like, what does this person mean? I use Chase all the time. Yeah. What's wrong with Chase? I have to listen and I have to see what this person is saying. Right. So you have to really get strategic with how you deliver your message on these podcasts. Like that's really, really important. So here is an acronym that I would tell people to use. It's called HIC. So it would be the hook, it would be the information, and then it would be just being, it would be basically like the conclusion. So the end. So hook, information, and then the conclusion, how you're wrapping it up. Conclusion or CTA, right? So you give people the hook. You tell them like, yo, hey, this is, don't go to these banks, right? Here's why you shouldn't go to these banks. And here's what you should do instead. Yeah. Now, if you want more information, comment something down below. So if you have that in your content, now you can literally package that up and throw it into an ad. And it'll do well because it's hitting all the points people want to see. Yeah. You already hooked them in. You already gave them information, why they should avoid this bank and why they should go here instead. And then you already concluded with a CTA telling them where they can go to get more information. So you have to know how to package your content up, bro. That shit is really important, bro.
That's a fact.
Sorry to break this amazing episode. I just have to let you guys know the best tool for marketing in 2025 is podcasting. Listen, it transformed our lives. Across all platforms, we was able to hit 15 million plus people. Imagine what it did for our business. To mention, we also have some notable likes just through podcasting. People like Usain Bolt, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Garnett, Stephen A. Smith,
Cedric the Entertainer, Queen Latifah. But more importantly, having engagement by your dream clients is probably the most important thing that will move the needle for you and your business. So what we want to teach you is exactly how to go out and start creating amazing content that will find your dream audience to go ahead and start paying you for your products and your services. So if you want to be able to learn exactly how to build up an audience and build up a brand online where people start knowing you, liking you, and buying from you for your products and services, what I want to do is invite you guys to our next free masterclass where we're showing you exactly how you can start taking your content and being seen online by your dream clients and possibly some celebrities as well. Go ahead and click the link down below, and I'm going to see you guys in that next masterclass. I agree for sure, and there's definitely a lot of things that people can do, to make sure they're not just posting anything online. You know what I mean? Like the acronym HIC. I've never heard of that one, but that's a good one. My analogy is kind of similar, and it's basically the same thing if you ask me. And after having so many different podcasts, one thing that I realized about pulling good clips out of a podcast that actually goes viral is kind of like what you said. But instead, what I think of is hook, story, hook, story, value, call to action. Yeah. So like the hook, hey, don't go to this bank, and I'll tell you exactly why on the last one. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you also give a story too. You know, that's also very good because a lot of times people relate to the stories. Yep. And then the value, which would be the I, is information. You give them, websites, tools, resources, steps, data, statistics that literally backs up what you're saying. And then you'll get that call to action, which would be, hey, I'm having this webinar in the next 2 days. Join me here. Click the link down below. Yep. So I feel like that's one of the most, one of the best strategies that you could use when it comes to clipping up good content. Because, most times you're sitting on a podcast for about 45 minutes to an hour sometimes. Yep. Doesn't have to be that long, but you can literally use 1 hour podcast and kind of use that as your way of feeding your people every single week, every single day. So that way there's always content, for them to look forward to. Exactly. It's kind of like, like the trending thing now, like Love Island, you know, nobody wants to miss a beat. They might do a little premiere every day, every Sunday at 5:00. They do their premiere. Yep. And it builds up that anticipation of people watching the episode. You get what I mean? So it's the same thing applies, you know?
Nah, I agree, bro. And right now we're in a day and age where we're in a short form era, right? Short form content, attention spans are short. Also, we're also in an era where it's so much money online, right? So if you think about what's currently popping right now, you got the streamers. What are they doing? They're literally doing the exact same strategy I just told you guys about, which is they're mastering the short form side, and then it's leading people to the long form. So I might not know Kai Cenat, but I might open TikTok and I might see him online. I might see, the things that he's doing. I might find it entertaining. I don't know him from anywhere, a hole in the wall. But now, guess what? I'm now hooked in now because off that one clip, I'm like, this guy, like, he's dope. This is somebody that I would want to be watching frequently. So what does that do? That tells people that short form is really, really, really like the door to unlocking people to your long form.
Right.
And when we're talking about building pipelines to getting more clients, long form is what people really, really trust you from, right? So people trust you after they watch an hour episode of your podcast.
Yeah.
They trust you when they sit down and watch you on stream all day, right? So if you're able to master that short form side, lead people to your long form where they sit down and they can actually get a master class from you. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, now I'm like, whoa, I'm blown away. And I'm like, I need to learn from this person. So here's how you really get the pipeline. So you put a good clip on that has the HIC acronym, or like Cody said, a story, and also the value that you're providing. And then you tell people, always have that call to action, whether it's book a call, if you're comfortable with being on calls, if you're good at closing on the phone, or it could be like, yo, get my free ebook. You're collecting some data from people. Now you got their information. Now you got a new customer that you can always market to. Or it could just be, hey, if you're interested in learning more, text here or go here. Just whatever it is, make sure when people are watching that short form or that long form side, that you're able to pull them into a direction, whether that's a customer, whether that's somebody want to buy from you, whether that's somebody interested in you. You have to know where you can lead them to, because that's how you build that pipeline just coming in, bro.
Absolutely. And one thing about it too is have one call to action. Have one call to action. One. Reason why you want to have one call to action is because it's like, you ever been to a restaurant where it's like, yo, it's so many different options. Like, what do you want to eat? Well, shit, I don't know. They got chicken, they got lobster, they got seafood, they got beef, they got pork, they got fried, they got baked, they got this, they got that. Now, if you get so many different options, you're overwhelmed with options and you don't know what to do next.
Yep.
So one thing I advise is anytime you have like a video that you're posting online, solve one problem, have one call to action, and, you know, that will literally make a night and day difference between, you know, having a piece of content that people use to build your business and things of that nature. But one thing I did want to do too, because, you know, a lot of times is people are saying, hey, listen, why should I start a podcast, right? And here's the number one reason, is because you're building trust. So what I want to do is I want to ask ChatGPT how many different, let me just do something real quick. Hey, ChatGPT, how much hours of content do people need to consume before making a buying decision for a high ticket program or service? Let's see. Okay. All right, cool. So it says, great question. For high ticket programs and services, the buying cycle is longer than low ticket offers because prospects need more trust, proof, and clarity before investing thousands of dollars. Here's what research and industry's data shows. General buying points. It takes 7 to 11 hours of content according to the studies in marketing psychology and B2B sales. People typically need to consume between 7 and 11 hours of content before they feel comfortable of making a high ticket decision. So one of the things is you have to have a lot of content out there, so that way your people can go out and trust you and start saying, all right, cool, there's more than enough content. This person is not just a flop. They show up for one day and then next day they're out. By having a podcast literally puts you in that category of making your clients want to trust you a little bit more. You get what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, bro. You really broke it down right there. And I really want us to really get out that mindset of being consumers. Like a lot of you guys are saying, you know, I don't want to start a podcast. I don't see the benefit in podcasting. But when you really think in terms of being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you flip it over, now you can see the marketing side of it. I'm pretty sure all of us watch podcasts.
Yeah.
We probably all got our favorite podcasts. What we don't know is us indirectly consuming these people every week when they drop. If they have a product, more than likely you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
If they're selling a t-shirt, if they're selling hats, if they're selling like, tickets to an event, you're going to want to go, or you're going to go pay for that event, and you'll literally fly out for it. Why? Because now, even though you're listening to them through a phone, through a speaker, you build a relationship with them where, yo, I watch this podcast every week. Like, I literally can trust them.
Yeah.
I can trust them. I know that they're not sleazy. I know that they're not scamming. And that's the point of podcasting, right? Where you're building that connection with potential customers, people who are interested.
Exactly.
And guess what? They'll buy from you because of that. You know what I mean? They'll literally buy from you. Like, even early on, we had a podcast. It's people who were literally telling us, like, yo, where's your merch? Like, they want to buy something. They're itching to buy something. And the reason why is because they consume our stuff so much that they're just looking for a reason to support. You know what I mean? So if you pivot looking at podcasting as, yo, I'm just going to be on here talking my ish, and I'm going to be out here stirring up drama, or saying something that's super controversial, cool, but also understand that it can be used and implemented in your business model for marketing if you know how to use it the right way.
That's a fact. Also, another thing I did want to touch on too is, you know, a lot of people, they record their first 4 episodes, they record their first 2 episodes, and, you know, sometimes some people might even go out and do a content day. But one of the issues is that they go out, they record the content, but now the biggest struggle is posting the stuff. You know what I mean? So here's some tips and here's some resources that you can do to maximize on a podcast, whether you're a guest on a show or whether you have your own show. One of the things that you could do to save yourself from that trouble and that heartache of recording all this content but not being able to fulfill is literally record a 45-minute podcast, 35-minute podcast, 25-minute podcast. Doesn't matter. Go ahead, record that podcast, and then what you would do is watch the podcast, right? Just write down little timestamps of things that you actually thought was cool. Think of the HIC method. Think of the hook, story, value, offer method. Think about the things that drives you, you know, or questions you may be answering on the podcast. That is the way on how you could pull a good clip. Once you pull that, just write down all the timestamps. If you want to be lazy, just write it down and then go to a website called Fiverr, hire somebody on there, a freelancer, for about $10 an hour or $10 a project, and they will go ahead and pull all those pieces of content. Next thing you will do is go ahead and go to Instagram. Start with one platform. Sometimes it can be overwhelming trying to post on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Post on one platform. Go to Instagram, and then literally there within the Instagram app, you can schedule out your posts. Like, you can literally write the caption, write everything out, and now you have your content for the entire week. I kind of like to explain this like the meal prep method, because now if you're meal prepping, most times people cook food on a Sunday. They cook the food on a Sunday, and next thing you know, they have all the food necessary for the next 4 or 5 days, so they're well fed. Same thing for your clients. They need to be fed every single day, so that way they can start trusting you. So that way they can start buying whatever products or services you have. So one of the issues is not posting the content. I literally just broke down what you guys can do, and some resources and websites that you can go to, because again, I'm gonna warn you, podcasting is not easy, but it's definitely very, very, very well worth it, and it will help your business tremendously, and it will make you stand out from the people that are doing what you're doing. You got people that literally just started their business just yesterday. You got people that's way better than you, but the real thing is, you just have to be a way better marketer. That's
beautifully said, bro.
There's a lot of people that are way like. I feel like I'm the top, like I know everything about credit. There's some people out there that are way better at marketing, and they don't know half of the stuff that I know when it comes to getting the client a result, but they're making the most amount of money because they're seen the most.
Yep. It's like a quote I said, visibility beats ability.
Beats ability.
See, a lot of you guys are really experts in your field. You guys are killing it. You know what you're doing. You're killing it in the real estate game. A lot of times you take the seat back and you watch people and you're like, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But
or they just came in the industry too.
Or they just came in the industry. But guess what? You're sitting back and watching them on your phone. Wow, you're like, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. People are watching them like, I need to go join this guy's program. Yeah. I need to go listen to whatever this guy has to say. Why? Because he's in front of their screen, same way he's on yours. So you have to pivot your mindset and realize like, yo, you have to understand that marketing side and really, really master it. And you can't be lazy with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, yo, let AI do all the work. I'm going to be honest with you. If you really want to be the top of the top, you have to be able to analyze your own content.
And you can start there. There's nothing wrong with starting there too. We start there.
Don't get me wrong. It's nothing with starting with AI, but it comes to a point where it gets the next growth. Point, dude. It gets to that point where when you want to hit that next level and you want to stand out, you have to be able to analyze your content. So like Cody said, you got timestamps. You know, AI tools like Opus is good, but Opus, you can't just download everything. Watch each video and make sure it checks off that box for the Hicks method I told you guys. Because if you're letting Opus pick out clips randomly, at least make sure it's the best one. You know what I mean? Don't just go and throw it up online and just call it a day. That's lazy work. You know what I mean? Actually go and look at the videos and make sure it aligns and it has a message that people can learn from. So when it's delivered to the audience, when you post it online, they're actually learning something. So I definitely do want to jump into, you know, borrowing other people's audience.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing a lot of people don't know.
Yes.
Like as a podcaster, man, listen, this is one of the easiest ways to get free marketing, essentially. You know what I mean? Like you can borrow anyone's audience and you're probably asking how, right? So let's say you have a podcast, right? You have a podcast for your business. Now you bring on I always like to bring up like niches. So you're in real estate and you bring on someone who is in funding. So now you guys mutually benefit each other. Want to know why? Because now he's going to have a funding audience. He's going to have people who either qualify for funding or they're looking to get funding. And a lot of times when people are looking to get funding or have funding, they're looking to invest the money. So now they're going to look at you like, this dude's a real estate coach. He's a real estate investor. I need to go and learn from him. So now what you're getting is leads directly from the person you just brought on. And then it goes vice versa with the guest you bring on. Now he's in funding, but he's going to have people who want to buy real estate. And then you're going to be in real estate that you're going to have people who needs funding. So it goes vice versa and it's mutually beneficial. So you have to strategically know how to borrow people's audience. You know, it's a lot of people who really do this very well. And I don't want to really say too many names, but a lot of people do it very, very well. This is why we say podcasting is an easy relationship builder.
Yeah.
But you really have to be strategic with it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and here's a great example. For example, let's say, for example, you're in the real estate industry. You're a real estate agent. You know, what you do for a living is you sell houses. You either help people buy or sell houses. Now, guess what? When it comes to that one real estate transaction, there's many different people in there, right? You have to have a loan officer in there. You have to have a title company. You have to have a insurance company involved. You have to have, also a brokerage involved. Yep. You have to have so many different moving parts. You're not the professional in all the different lanes, but what you could do is you can gather all the people that are in your industry that literally they combine to whatever the transaction is, whether it's before and after. Like, say for example, if I buy a home, some of the things that I'm gonna need to do before is a title search. What I have to do after I buy a home, now I might have to hire some landscaping team. So now guess what? You have to go ahead. What you could do with your podcast to steal other people's audience is bring in everyone that literally indirectly and directly correlates to whatever transaction that you have to have. So that way you can start closing more deals and stealing other people's audience. Not stealing, but, you know, ethically borrowing other people's audience, because now they have the dream clients that you want. You have the dream clients that they want. So let's all work together and post all that good content. Now, they may have some names, numbers, emails. They may have a closing that they may need you to join in on. They may have a bank where, you know, you can tap into. There also might be an affiliate on the back end. So there's many different ways that things can go when it comes to borrowing other people's audience. It don't only just stop off of social media and Instagram where you accept a collab post, but it can also work for you very well on the back end too, financially. You know, so not only just that, but, you know, like Ayo said, being very strategic on the guests that you have on your podcast. You know, again, it's not, you know, a 50-50 men versus women gossip, trending topics type stuff. It's more of you literally building up a show that people can literally watch and just consume you. And just trust you a little bit more, you know?
And don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be super boring. Like, you don't have to bring on somebody and make it, you know, super boring. It can also be entertaining, because at the end of the day, you're also a student. You know, when you're sitting behind the podcast, you're learning from the person you bring on, and so is the audience. So if you guys are able to kind of break down what you do, what they do, or even if you sit back and take the host seat and you interview this person, but as we said, it still could be mutually beneficial, because now you can tie what you're doing into what they're doing. And then now both of you guys hold that expert, you guys are looking like real experts.
Exactly.
And that's what you really want to be seen as, because like I said, people are sitting down, they're watching these, and they're literally looking at you guys to get more information. Like, it might be somebody that wants to get into funding or real estate. Now you're sitting on a podcast behind a camera and they're listening. That's the sign, like, yo.
And also too, I'm not gonna front, like, you said the word boring. You know, like, what's boring to one person might not be boring to another. You know what I mean? True. So like, you might say, because at one point we was like, yo, we gotta switch it up. We gotta start doing relationship content. But I'm like, I really don't want to, you know, because at the end of the day, I find that to be boring. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, for example, a gym person is going to go to the gym. A vegan person is going to find interest in going to a vegan festival. You know, a person that loves cars is going to go to a car show. So even if you think, because again, we thought, you know, our content was a little bit boring, but numbers ain't lying. You know, people might critique us and be like, yo, like y'all saute crackers. Like, y'all young saute crackers, boring, dry, ain't no, you know, but you what I'm saying is you can show up how you are and literally just give that content, and people are gonna like that boring side. Like, there's gonna be more people that resonate with you because of who you are. You know what I mean? Like, if I was 50 plus years old and I wanted to learn something that from somebody else that's 50 plus years old, got 2-3 kids and a dog, listen, I might want to resonate with them because they just like me. You can make a lot of money doing that. You know what I mean? So honestly, there's a lot of different ways that things can go. For real.
100%. That's why once you get behind that mic, just be comfortable. You know, be comfortable talking to an audience. Be comfortable sharing your story, because like Cody said, if people can relate to you, the more likely they'll buy from you, right?
Exactly.
So a lot of times too, like when I'm listening to podcasts or I'm listening to certain people, you know, I'm more so interested in their story than what they have to say, because if I'm relating to it, it kind of takes me in a place where, like, all right, they've been through that and they made it out, so I know damn well I can too. So that's why, you know, never be afraid to, you know, be yourself on camera. You know, don't try to fake it. Don't try to be entertaining. Like someone was, like, we were just talking about too. Kai Cenat is Kai Cenat because that's how he always was. You know, people might view him as, this guy who's faking who he is, but in reality, he's always been like that. He grew up as a class clown, grew up getting kicked out of the class, having his desk outside. That was his lifestyle, but he was able to, translate that into being one of the top entertainers in the game. Yeah. And it works for him because that's him.
You know what's crazy, bro? I was looking at the Mafia-thon too, and not Mafia-thon 2, but Mafia-thon 3. I was looking at it and I'm like, yo, like for his crowd, like for example, let's take rappers for example. You got all the, let's say a rapper, they always got entourage. They always got the thugs, dudes that just whatever, you know what I mean? And then you take Kai Cenat, you look at his group. One of his closest bands is like 16 years old. Like another one, is 19, another one's 18, and he's like 25, So I'm like, yo, like even if you may say, all right, cool, like I might be like a nerd or a geek about certain things, like it's cool, you be your damn self and people gonna love you for who you are, and you don't have to switch up and change up and be like, yo, like I want to hang around everybody that got the big change, that's smoking weed, that's drinking alcohol, drinking lean, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, you can literally have who you want to have and be yourself. Like,
bro, you brought up a great point too, because even when we go back to borrowing people's audience, Kai Cenat does it all the time.
Yeah.
If you look at his Mafia-thon 3, he's basically doing that. What does he have? He has a point on the stream where he's bringing on rappers to freestyle.
Yeah.
What is that doing? My favorite rapper just got on Kai Cenat's stream. Oh, I didn't know about Kai Cenat, but now I do, because my favorite rapper just killed the freestyle on his show. Oh, Keke Palmer just came on Kai Cenat. I didn't know Kai Cenat, but I'm a Keke Palmer fan.
Exactly.
So now, guess what he's doing? He's pulling more people into his algorithm. He's pulling more people into his funnel and his system. And now he got a fan. Now people are going to be like, whoa, he's actually more entertaining than I think.
Yeah.
And that's just the power of borrowing audience. Same thing with Kai Cenat. It's going to be people who didn't know Keke Palmer. Now they come through on Keke Palmer. Now they're buying whatever she got going on. So it's just a mutual thing that you have to understand how to really use. That's what we're really going to be breaking that down more deeply. I'm telling y'all guys, podcast is a tool, man. Stop sleeping on it, y'all.
Absolutely, man. So listen, for this podcast, here's our CTA, right? Here's our call to action. Here, we gave you all the value. We gave you all the information. But here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and invite you guys to our next free mastermind, right? This mastermind is going to be very intense, very, hands-on, and really just going over a lot of people's problems. A lot of people are struggling when it comes to marketing. A lot of people are struggling when it comes to creating content. A lot of people are struggling where they're posting a lot of content. They're getting 100+ views every single time. Nothing is changing. Their same circle of people are just liking the content, and nothing is really amounting to anything. So what I want us to do is we're going to go ahead and invite you guys to our next free mastermind, all virtual. You don't have to go anywhere. Just sign on, register, and we'll definitely invite you guys on there. But what we would do is probably for the first 100 people, we'll just give invitations to.
Yep.
And then, from, I guess outside of that.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, listen, it's so much more to the game, but we really broke it down here. But when you guys really get into that room, into that the virtual mastermind that we're going to be hosting, man, just get your note pens and your notepad ready, because it's going to be a lot of game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of strategy shared. And I definitely believe that anyone who jumps off that virtual mastermind, you can go ahead and immediately implement everything we told you guys. And I guarantee you, whatever niche you're in, whatever business you're in, you're on that path to being that expert, to being that authority, and to getting new customers, new leads, and more importantly, that bag for your business, man. So listen, stop playing, sign up. We're going to drop the link down below. And yeah, I think we have one more. We got one more area of podcasting that, we kind of touched it. It was also just to wrap up, it was how to basically use podcasting to just have content to use, like, you know, having like a whole portfolio of content you could use. How many times do we typically shoot a month, bro? Not that many. We probably shoot about 3 or 4 times a month. And how much episodes? That's probably about 3-4 episodes a month, and that lasts us, you could say, for about a good month. And think about it. It's literally just pulling content out from your podcast.
Yeah.
And now you got content that you can use for nearly an entire month.
That's a fact. Like I was saying with the meal prep method, you know, you cook one big pot of food, and next thing you know, you got, like, honestly, like we're not in the studio like every single day, but there's still more than enough content that people can consume, and literally that one podcast can be broken down in many different ways. It can be broken down into reels. It can be broken down into being used as an ad, as a blog post, as, you know, even behind the scenes content. That's also content you could put as well. You can use, you know, pieces of content that goes viral. You can take the word transcript and then you just put those in the emails, and that can be email marketing. So there's many different ways that you can repurpose a podcast after sitting down for an hour or even 2 hours. Like, sitting down for a podcast is a way better investment versus hiring a photographer and going outside and doing talking head videos or, you know, doing photo shoots. Like, you're way better off investing your time into a studio for an hour, sit down, record, have a conversation, and now you have more than enough content that you can repurpose and build your trust and authority.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, we gave you guys a lot of game, man. Listen, if you haven't yet, just click the link down below. We're gonna put it on the screen as well. So definitely sign up for the free masterclass. Listen, I'm advising you guys. Listen, podcasting, it literally changed our lives in a way. You know what I mean? It gave us relationships with people who we never thought we would ever have relationships with. You know what I mean? So many doors opened, so many business opportunities, and we're just sharing how it helped us, right? Because I believe every business can benefit from this. You know what I mean? We're not just saying it just to say it. It's something that should be implemented in everyone's business, you know, if you can. I mean, look, guys, you see it every day. Jadakiss started a podcast. Why are so many people? Jim Jones just recently started one. A whole bunch of people are literally starting podcasts, and the reason why is because they're early on to game. They realize the tool it has. They realize the strategy behind it, which we're gonna go really deeper in. And I don't want you guys to miss the boat. I want you guys to be one of the early people, so that way you can, you know, take a lot of the benefits and really stand out and you know, get to that bag, man. So definitely gave you guys a lot of game. Click the link down and sign up, man. And just comment what you guys learned. You know, let me know what you guys learned. Let me know if you have a podcast. Let me know if you're kind of on the edge about it. Comment down below. Shoot us a DM online. You know, just let us know your thoughts, and we're going to see you guys on the next one.
Absolutely. So I'll see you guys on the next episode of Motion and Success.
Sure.
But one last thing, go ahead and join the next free mastermind that we're doing, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Peace.
Peace, you guys.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It sounds like you was on a sales presentation, bro.
Deadass.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, this nigga over here trying